Welcome back. Gauteng parents who missed the deadline to enroll their grade 1 and grade 8 children for the 2026 academic year will get another chance when late applications open in December. Although the province has 87,000 open spaces, MEC for Education in Gauteng Matome Chiloane says the problem is not the number of spaces, but where they are located. Chiloane says Gauteng's population shifts have created immense pressure within the inner city and established suburban districts such as Johannesburg East, North, Tshwane West and Ekurhuleni. For more, we are now joined by the MEC. MEC, a very good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. Perhaps let's just begin. The online admissions system is celebrating its 10th year. What would you describe as the gains over the years?
Thank you. Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. The system has really revolutionized, the admission process in our province, and obviously it set the tone to the country because in some provinces they're already using the system, but in different ways. Secondly, it has really made it convenient. I mean, over the years from how it started, it had some teething problems at the beginning, but where we are today, it has been seamless. We have not really had any downtime of late. We've been added improvements because on a yearly basis we seek feedback from all the stakeholders, the learners, the parents, the educators, the administrators, everyone who engages with the system in one form or the other, to see where can we improve. And it has improved a lot. I mean, over the past couple of years, its user friendliness, its portability in the sense of saying now, like for instance, this year we were allowing both parents, they might not stay with the child together, but they can both apply for schools for the same child, while in the past it could only be the first come, first serve basis. Now the father can also say, I prefer this school for my child, and the mother can say this, and they both apply. I mean, this is how far the system has grown to really incorporate everyone involved in the life of the child. So it has been quite successful so far. And by the way, it's got a 90% placement rate consistently. So that it's you can see the figure itself. It's quite good.
And currently, you're sitting at an 87% of completed applications that have been placed. How does this compare to previous years?
Currently it's good. I mean, compared to previous years, we're more or less in the same space. But what you need to understand that compared to the previous year, we've got more learners this year than we did last year in the first initial phase of the application process. The learners that we're dealing with in this year are almost equivalent to the number of learners that we dealt with last year, plus late applications. So now these are just initial applications. So it means that now the system itself, in terms of the education system, it's growing. But also we now, with the improvements in the system, we are also able to assist. For instance, the parents would apply changing home language. I mean, in that case, we then go and revert automatically to a home language that we know that the child moved with from grade 7. So this year it has been good. I mean, and we will be able to complete the application process now. I mean, the placement process now by the 12th of December. So basically meaning that everybody with complete application will go into the festive season knowing where their child is going to be in next year.
And about a little over 40,000 of learners are still to be placed. You're saying by the 12th of December, this will be complete. What do you often see as the main obstacles that prevent you in ensuring that these children are placed in schools before the start of school?
Mostly, for instance, by the 12th of December, we would have offered all 40,000 learners offers in our school spaces. So the only delay would be the appeals. So but by the 12th, every single parent of the 40,000 learners that we have not placed would have a placement offer. And that's what we're saying, that this is our deadline for placement offers. So the only snag is always the appeal, and the appeal is informed by a parent applying for a certain school and not getting them. And that's where the delay, and we have to follow due process. I mean, the process that we've put in place for the appeal process, beginning with the district and goes up in all levels up to the MEC. So that's the only delay that will be there. But beyond that, we would have fully complied with our constitutional obligation of ensuring that every child of school-going age has a space in a school, and that's what we would have done. So besides that, we are comfortable that we will get everything right.
And you must admit, MEC, that for a lot of parents, that appeals process, there's a lot of frustrations that come with it, particularly with parents that have chosen certain schools but have been unsuccessful in having their children placed in any of those schools. Now, you've mentioned that there are 87,000 open spaces within the province, but the location is an issue. Going forward, how are you looking to solve that situation, especially where parents are really looking at particular schools for various reasons in placing their children there and not wanting their children to go to those other schools where the placements are readily available?
Look, we've got mitigating strategies that we've put in place. Firstly, of course, to increase classroom spaces by giving schools money, the self-build, where we've given schools to build additional classes. And so far, over 3,799 classrooms have been built. And if you calculate the school size of around 50 classes, you can count how many schools that would have been in the schools. And we're still continuing now with another 1,700 that we've given classes that we've given to schools money to build. So, and that is in high pressure areas where we don't have space, but also building new schools. And also, we've also built mobile schools. Now we've got around 13 that we've built in this academic year. We've got a few more, 13 more that were in the final stages of concluding them as well. So, and all of these added spaces are in high pressure areas, as you have indicated when you began: Ekurhuleni North, Ekurhuleni South, Tshwane West, Tshwane South, Joburg East, and Joburg North. And these are highly concentrated areas in our province.
And I mean, you've expressed previously, just with regards to municipalities and the delays of approving school building infrastructure. How do you think we should move with regards to a more radical expansion plan, especially for the future in placing these young children?
Yeah, true. I mean, with the 13, for instance, the 13 mobile schools that we have not fully completed them for occupation, it's because of the slow pace of the municipality, access to water. In terms of the structures, the mobile classrooms are there, all the upper infrastructure is there. Now, because there's no water, there's no connection for water and electricity, we can't open them. And these are some of the challenges that I'm indicating. But also, the municipality also not assisting us in terms of approving building plans. All these delays, it's a big problem. So the suggestion that I've put forward is that the municipalities need to create at least units, specialized units, to deal with education as a client, because education is a big client of these municipalities. So that we know as a department, when you go to the municipality, this is the office that we work, and this is the people that will run with our processes. I mean, the approvals of plans, dealing with services that have been cut, municipal services that have been cut, dealing with the rates and taxes, whatever that we have to deal with. We have a specialized office as a major client to the municipalities. I think that will really help a lot. And I'm hoping that those in the municipalities have heard me, because I've raised them before.
So, MEC, maybe let's just remind parents, especially those who their options were not approved in terms of the schools that they chose. Just talk to us about the appeals process, what documentation is needed, what's the time frame, what are the channels that they need to go through in order for them to be able to go through this appeals process?
No, I mean, those who can appeal firstly are those that, as you have put it, those that have their children have been placed in schools that they did not select. Those that have, you can't appeal a school that you've selected. I mean, there are some parents who want to appeal that I wanted this particular school. For instance, today we're at King Edward, and they say, I wanted King Edward, but you placed my child at a different school. But that school, it was part of the 3 schools or 5 schools that they've chosen. Those parents can appeal. So we automatically reject those appeals. It's only those that have not, their children are not placed in any of the schools that have chosen that can appeal it. And those are in the transfers. So the process is you start by appealing at the level of the district, and then you move up to the head office, the HOD, then it comes to me as the MEC, as the final arbiter. So at different stages, if you're not happy with the outcome, you move up. If you're not happy with the outcome, you move up until you get to the MEC. And from the MEC side, then I'm the final arbiter. My decision then becomes final. So that you place or and we have I have cases that where I've agreed with the appellant that yes, you are right. This is the district and the school has a responsibility to go and correct and place their child. And some parents, they can tell you that has been done. So each appeal is unique. It's not dealt as a blanket. We look at it, we investigate it, and then we come with the determination of it. So it's pure transparency across.
So parents should not go to the schools of their preference in order for them to appeal?
No, you don't appeal at the school. You appeal on the system, and you appeal it will show you there are there's a prompt that will also guide you towards the appeal process. You don't appeal at the school.
All right. MEC, thank you so much for your time and for the clarity. We certainly do hope that all those young ones will be placed, like you said, by the 12th of December. And of course, those that appeal and those late applications will then come into the fore. That's the MEC for Education in Gauteng, Matome Chiloane.